Hallo Leute und willkommen zurück to my YouTube channel, and welcome back you guys. It's another kind of creepy video today. So today I'm going to be making a video all about the creepy fetishes and sexual attractions that you didn't know existed. Let's get started. Alright, so the first one that I wanted to mention is I found kind of interesting. This is going to be called, number 10 is Herophilia. It is sexual attraction to religious objects. Now, it doesn't relate to the religion itself, but it does relate to the objects associated with the religion. So someone could be sexually attracted to a cross if they are a Christian, or a Hamza if they like Hamzas, like myself. I'm not saying that I have a fetish for this, but I will say that if it's something along your religious association and you get a sexual attraction, odds are you have Herophilia. Number 9 is for Mycophilia. This is the love of having insects crawling on you. And many people who have this fetish, fun fact, they end up working with insects for a living because they're attracted to insects. And that's kind of cool, but it's also kind of weird because, you know, fetishes aren't exactly a very sane thing among many people. It's usually a very niche thing. Number 8 is Oculolinktus, which is the art of licking the eyeball. This originated in Japan and this is seen as a symbol of attraction between lovers. So if you're attracted to somebody in Japan, people will lick the eyeball. However, in the States, people usually do it as a prank or as like a joke between friends. They don't really do it as a form of sexual attraction. Obviously, in a lot of other countries, there's certain ways of sexual attraction, and this happens to be one of them in Japan. Japan's pretty weird. There are a couple others on this list that are also from Japan. So, number 7 is Dendrophilia. This is a fetish for nature, mainly trees, but people are mistaken for just being nature lovers when they actually are sexually attracted to them. In 2010, a Scotsman attempted to have sex with a tree in a public park and ended up being banned from that park because he was trying to have sex with a tree, which is a good reason. And what's interesting though is because I'm like a nature lover, obviously would never fuck a tree in my life. But this is quite interesting. I also heard about this a few years ago. This was a What the Fuck News special. And I heard about this, that I think someone in Florida also tried to have sex with a tree, but I think he was on drugs or something. He wasn't like completely sober, I don't think. But he also tried to have sex with a tree. And then, so this one, the next one is number 6. And that one is Hybristophilia. So sexual attraction to a serial killer, or somebody you know that has had a criminal past. This is actually pretty common. It is usually with people such as Richard Ramirez. I know he was very sexually attracted by many people when he was a serial killer. I don't even know if he's still alive anymore. I think he died. But a lot of serial killers will have these fandoms. Charles Manson had a fandom. Ted Bundy had a fandom of girls that would like stand outside and wait for him to be done with all these murder trials. And this is pretty common. I feel like I hear about this quite often just because I do a lot of research on serial killers, and I know quite a few different things about different serial killers and like what they did and why they did it. And the reason why a lot of people want to be with somebody like this is probably because they think they're attractive, and also because they think they can be corrected by having sex with them or loving them, when really it's more than just that. Because I know that there's a lot of things when people say in relationships that, you know, they think that, oh, somebody can be corrected, like if they have a really shitty past. Like, oh, this person will become a better person if they're with me. But in this case, not so much, because that's very psychological of a thing. They might have had a fucked up life. There's a lot of reasons why people would want to kill. Anyways, so this is also called Bonnie and Clyde syndrome, which, as you guys may know, that was also a crime couple back probably in like the 30s. And they were they also had sexual attraction to each other, but they were also people, they both committed crimes together. So they would, you know, rob gas stations, kill people, I think, too. But this is also just a very interesting one. I can do an entire video on, like, serial killers and stuff. Okay. Next one is going to be olfactophilia. This is the love of smells, particularly, or like a sexual attraction fetish for smells. So this is usually with bodily smells. So sweat usually is the main culprit of people having this fetish. Would be they usually are attracted to somebody's body odor, which I can kind of understand because there are people that, you know, may have a really better smelling body odor than most people. And anyone who's been to a school before, or who has been in high school, middle school, or whatever you want to call it, has had experience with obviously being next to people that smelled horrific. And I don't smell so good right now. I've been doing a little bit of working today, but that's also just kind of... So the next thing that I wanted to put down on here, this is number 4. This is pterotophilia, who's wanting to be human furniture. This is a fetish. I actually saw this on a Mind Strange Addiction episode where this one lady wanted to be, was like a lamp for hours on end. And fun fact how this started, this actually started in the 70s. Somebody wanted women to be furniture for an art exhibit and for many other things too. I don't know per se how long it's been, but this all originated back then and just brought its way over to now. And there are people out there who actually do this for a living. You can actually, from what I've heard, go onto these online sites and have somebody be like a table for you or be a lamp for you for hours or however long you want them to. It's strange, but fetishes are strange. The third one is doorknobs. There is no technical term for this one. This fetish started in Japan to help to try to fight against the censorship of pornography, but then of course it went to a different level, and now all of a sudden people everywhere seem to, at least there's some people that do. Obviously not everybody has a fetish for doorknobs. I definitely don't. That's really weird. But it's not my cup of tea, but to each their own. Number 2 is pterotophilia. This is a person who is attracted to someone with a deformity. So whether they are in a wheelchair, one leg, one arm, some kind of a deformity, maybe they're a midget, because that's sort of a deformity, or they are just different, they just have some kind of a deformity, or they just have a disability of sorts. So, I mean, obviously there's not really much else to say about that. Mechanophilia. This is a sexual attraction to objects, usually with cars. This one is quite interesting because I actually saw several My Strange Addiction episodes. This was just one guy pertaining to, but this one guy had this romantic and sexual relationship with his car that he called Chase, and there is videos of this on YouTube where you can look at this guy who has these attractions to these cars. And it's mostly just his car, like he's obviously like very into his car, and he's had sex with his car. And not a lot of people know about it until now, because obviously he was on a national television show that people all over the world can, I think, see now. Anyway, so those were 10 fetishes and sexual attractions that you may not know existed. Thank you guys for watching. As always, do leave a like and also subscribe to this channel, as there will be more videos that are kind of creepy for the rest of spooky season. Anyways, bye guys. Und bis später.